Good evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in tonight, and if you're watching the recorded video, thank you as well. As I always say, please share this video to your wall after it posts to mine. The more people that view this content, the better. It just gets people talking, and that's the whole point of all this. So also, these are my opinions and my opinions only. I'm not a mental health professional or a therapist. I just have borderline personality disorder. Tonight's topic is how you can help a borderline loved one. Having a friend or family member or an acquaintance that's afflicted with BPD is not always easy. This is an emotional intensity disorder which directly impacts interpersonal relationships and many times causes instability within those relationships. But I firmly believe that the inability to maintain those healthy interpersonal relationships for someone with BPD, active BPD, occurs for many reasons. I believe that, yes, many times individuals with this disorder can be the primary cause of turmoil within the relationships. But I also believe that we can prevent instability and create more healthy interactions and relationships by taking a different approach. If a loved one is diagnosed with cancer, many times the first thing that we're going to do is go out to Google, learn more about the disease and what we can do to ensure that they'll be understood, taken care of, and loved no matter what. We naturally try to bridge that gap and do everything we can to help that person and to make sure that they feel like they're not alone. Many times people with this disorder feel like they're alone, and even when they're surrounded by people. It's a big part of that feeling is a direct result of the fact that many times others have no understanding of what they feel and what they go through on a daily basis. People with BPD often feel like they're on a secluded island, and no matter what they do or say, nobody will truly understand them. And that's why there's an immediate connection when one person meets one person with BPD meets another one. It's similar to an alcoholic or an addict, and they could probably finish each other's sentences. There's no need for any type of explanation. So the first thing that we can do to help a person with BPD is learn and try to understand the disorder to the best of your ability. Self-educate on the disorder. There's an abundance of information out there. There's books, websites, blogs, podcasts, YouTube videos, go lives, even if you Google borderline personality disorder, there's 867,000 search results. So spend the time to read some material, take notes, and self-educate. Then go back to your loved ones and ask questions, show interest in the topic. And you can also put the educational responsibility into another person's hands. Contact a mental health professional. Therapeutic services are not designed for only individuals with mental illness. If you have a loved one with borderline personality disorder, I believe it's just as important for you to go seek out a mental health professional as it is for them in order to maintain a healthy interpersonal relationship. This doesn't always mean group therapy or family therapy or couples therapy. Go alone. Everybody can benefit from therapy. If the disorders cause you illness, or any type of issues, then you can obviously work on yourself and become a better you, and at the same time educate or become more educated about someone with BPD and what they go through. Learn about their motivations, learn their reasoning, and why they do the things they do. Sometimes better understanding comes from information that's provided from someone outside of the situation or interpersonal relationship. And also you can always seek somebody else out that has BPD. Talk to them, pick their brain, and ask about their experiences, their emotions, and what their thought processes are like. Ask them about the disorder and how it's impacted their lives and their relationships with other human beings. Self-education and obtaining a better understanding of someone with this disorder can literally save a friendship, family, or intimate relationship, and I truly believe that. People with this disorder aren't bad people. We just possess a different level of emotion than different folks. Next thing you can do to help a BPD loved one is to let them walk away from situations. And this is a very important one in my opinion. They're all important, but this one especially. I want to explain to you what it happens to me on a daily basis. No matter how well somebody's doing in their lives, and even if they're in remission, people with this disorder will forever feel a higher level of emotions than the general public. And this occurs during good times and bad. Triggers can be negative or positive. Somebody could be feeling happiness and joy and satisfaction and will still have to deal with possessing a different level of intensity of emotions than someone who does not have this disorder. So when something happens during the day, for me, an event or a trigger, good or bad, the intense emotions hit sometimes like a freight train, and there is absolutely nothing that I can do about it. It's one of those things that, basically when it hits me, the emotions hit, and then it goes to my mind. And then after the mind, then it goes to action. And so, what happens is, I can prevent anything. I can prevent what happens after it goes to my mind. But many times what happens is those negative thoughts come into play after the emotions hit. So it goes from here to here, and then to my to my action. So the key is to challenging those negative thoughts and retrain the brain and step away from the situation. If a loved one is having what I call a BPD moment, let them step away. Get out of the situation and let them process what's going on. Give them an opportunity to reprogram. Give them an opportunity to calm down and prevent themselves from making impulsive decisions or saying something that they'll regret later on. Sometimes this means they need to stay silent, and sometimes that means they need some alone time. If you're in a heated argument, please don't have someone with BPD who removes themselves from the situation, or don't look at them as somebody who is trying to avoid the communication or the resolution part of this. To me, that's what we're taught in therapy is, to actually go ahead and do that. We're taught to step out of the situation. And so, what they're doing is they're doing what they're taught, or, or they're doing something naturally, and that's to kind of flee because they need to process things. So, so don't look at that as a negative thing. To me, it's kind of like another thing too is not to let individuals know that, or tell individuals that they shouldn't be feeling something. Because to me, that's like telling somebody who's blind that they should see. It's who we are. It's a part of the disorder, and we can't help, the feelings that we have. So just try to be empathetic, listen, and understand that walking away and needing space and time and self-reflection is nothing but a positive thing for someone who is simply trying to handle their disorder in a healthy way. It sure beats the alternative in making impulsive decisions that will impact you both negatively. Another thing you can do is help acknowledge progress and good things about the person, and not just focusing on the negative. We all have some negative traits in our personality and our behaviors, and that's what makes us human. Have yet to see or meet a perfect person. We're all flawed in our own ways. But for some of us, with this disorder, we tend to personalize things a little bit more than those without it. And for many folks, including myself, we beat ourselves up over so many years, and have developed a sense of self-hatred, at times. And it's not an easy mentality to break, but it can be done. I am living proof of that. Today, I have more positive thoughts than I do negative ones, but the negative ones are still there. It's hard enough to deal with the emotional intensity and instinctual negative thoughts, and sometimes, bad choices in our lives. If we're surrounded by negativity on top of that, it's going to make the battle even more difficult. When interacting with a loved one with this disorder, try to focus on the positive things about that person. Talk about what progress they're making. Tell them, tell them that what makes them a good person. Talk about that. We need constructive criticism at times in order to keep us in check, but we also need love. We need understanding and support. And some may consider this to be coddling, and and the habit, walking on eggshells with an individual. And I don't see this at all. I don't agree with that. BPD or no BPD, we should all be focusing on more of the positives in life and building each other up instead of tearing each other down. For me personally, I need those pats on the back. I do. If I wasn't receiving support from all of you through everything that I'm going through in rebuilding my life, I would not be capable of doing the things that I've been doing. I depend on you guys in a sense to push me to continue to, promote awareness and education on this disorder and mental illness. I'm just being honest that that's just how I am right now, and maybe someday that won't be the case, but I'm also realistic about who I am and what I have. And that comes along with that comes a deep desire to receive support and validation and love. So thank you for everybody out there for offering that to me and playing such a big role in my recovery and playing a big part in helping others who need this education. It's the little things that matter to someone who struggles with an emotional intensity disorder. We don't always need you to carry us. We just want you to walk side by side with us. Final thoughts. Living with borderline personality disorder does not have to be a death sentence. We can live, we can be happy, we are fully capable of maintaining solid, healthy interpersonal relationships, with friends, family, co-workers, spouses, and children, but it isn't easy. And because this is an emotional intensity disorder, which cannot be fixed by medication, there are challenges and obstacles, and it can be an uphill battle to achieve the things we want to achieve. And the whole point of this topic tonight is just to tell you guys that you can help and you can become more educated. And, we all need each other in some ways. We're all dependent on each other as human beings in some capacity or form. And sometimes folks with BPD just need that little extra effort from others to try to understand, be empathetic and supportive, and to look at them as real human beings. We're not emotional basket cases. We're not overly dramatic and attention seekers. Most of us are real, honest, caring individuals who just want a chance to live life with a true smile on our faces. We want happiness and love and success just like everybody else, and we want that healthy connection with others, and we want others to understand us. And with your help and compassion, I really do feel that's possible. So thanks for tuning in tonight, everybody, and go Cubs.